So, a little bit of a different setup today because it is boiling. The sun is directly on where I normally sit and film, and I just can't think straight. Like, it's just unbearable. I decided we're going to be sitting on my sofa today. Today we're going back to dating hell. Worst introduction to dating. So this happened February. I'd recently come out of a 3.5-year relationship. I'd never dated, never had one night stands, always been a relationship person. So I was excited to try dating like all my friends had. I also wanted sex. Don't judge, a girl has needs. I meet someone from Tinder. He'd also just come out of a relationship and we had a good time. It wasn't amazing, but we got on. He made comments that made it seem like he was enjoying it and was going to go on another date. It could have been worse. We cuddled and eventually hooked up. At 11 p.m. he wanted to sleep, even though the past week he'd slept every night at like 3 a.m. He turned away, refusing to touch me all night. He'd also paid extra for later checkout. I wake up to his alarm, but he shuts it off and goes back to sleep, so I do too. I'm a light sleeper, so I hear him get up out of bed and hear his belt buckle. I wake up. He says, I'm going to get going, get something to eat, I was going to let you sleep. I look at my phone and it's 8 a.m, so late checkout wasn't needed. The guy was going to leave me in the hotel, literally a hit and run. That made me feel super shitty. We walked out the hotel together, hugged. He said, I'll text you when I get to the car. He then left me on delivered for 20 plus weeks, then left me on opened. After him trying to leave early, I was fine not seeing him again. Thought he was a dick. Not only was that just hurtful, 2 weeks later, I have symptoms. Man gave me chlamydia. Wow.
I will have you assassinated.
That's not where I thought that was going. I've always been careful, always been top of testing, even in my relationship. I was stupid, I know, I've beat myself up about it already. I technically didn't ask if he was clean, but my stupid brain convinced me if he isn't, he'd tell me. Learnt my lesson hard right there. I did treatment, tested again, and it was negative, thank God. Still suffering discharge symptoms 5 months later, despite negative STD tests, so that's great. Basically, moral of the story, make sure the guy is decent, don't sleep with him on the first date, quickly learnt that I wasn't missing out on hookups, and wear protection. STIs are not a nice thing. I'm very thankful I've never had one. Get yourself tested, use protection, until you know that both of you are safe. And by the way, that's really bad etiquette on him. Like, I know a lot of guys don't have symptoms, so it might be he just didn't know, but he should also be going to get regular checkups, especially if he's clearly just hooking up with people and then never speaking to them again. Yeah, definitely a tough way to learn about the vapid nature of hookup culture. I'm so sorry about the STI. He may have been a giver, someone who purposely spreads STIs as a way to hurt others, usually a male trying to hurt women. I haven't heard that before. I have met several givers in my life and even had a sexual relationship with one once, but thank God I didn't get the STI. I was very fortunate and now live a celibate life in peace and contentment. I really hope your symptoms go away soon and every single speck of dust gets into that dude's eyes for the rest of his pathetic and sad life. I like that comment. Polite no's don't count unless written in glitter and blessed by a priest, I guess. Yeah, people can't take rejection. Some people take it really, really badly. Hi, new here. Maybe this is a fitting story. So, some guy messages me on Facebook, says he thinks he saw me at a beach event. He hadn't. But he used punctuation and didn't open with a tongue gif or unsolicited chest hair, so I figured, why not? It starts off normal. Told him it wasn't me. No, don't read this in Shaggy's voice.
It wasn't me.
And wished him luck finding her. But he wanted to chat and started asking the classics. Single? Yes. Kid? Yes. Age? None of your business. Still breathing, apparently. Then he asks if I've been with anyone since my breakup. I said yes, and I'm honest about it. There was someone I really connected with. It didn't work out, but it meant something. After that, I kissed someone during a night out. No drama, just some fun. Then he hits me with, don't you hate going to bed alone after kissing someone? Imagine saying that out loud and thinking, yeah, this'll do it. No, just don't. Apparently my emotional openness triggered his inner thirst gremlin. So I deflect and tell him I'm headed to a game night, dice, betrayal, and a beer that lets me roll first. Living the dream. He waits a beat and then delivers, so, been a while since you had good sex then? Cheeky, like, tongue sticking out emoji. Sir, call your horses. He asks for my number. I say no, kindly. Hi, welcome in. I've got a kid, a job, a life, some growing to do, and a laundry basket that groans when I make eye contact. I feel you. He replies, totally understand, no pressure, and immediately follows up with, but I would love to meet you, emoji with a kiss. Ugh. That's not no pressure, that's pressure in a fedora, humming Marvin Gaye and trying to slow dance with my boundaries. Can I just say, the writing of this? Chef's kiss. This is very, very good. Then came, you seem like a great kisser, emoji kissing face. When do you have time? We'd have such a great time together, winking emoji face.
How about no?
Each time I said no, not with fireworks or flames, just a polite, steady, grown-up kind of no. Kind, but firm. Clear, but calm. I would have blocked this guy at this point, by the way. Oh, how foolish of me. Because apparently, unless you shout it while holding a crucifix and a restraining order written in glitter, it just unlocked a wave of wings. Rolling eyes emoji. All I wanted was some dice, betrayal, and a beer that didn't hit on me. Instead, I summoned the spirit of maybe if I keep trying, she'll F me. And mind you, this all happened within the hour. Thanks for letting me rant. Yeah, can I just say, the people that slide into your DMs and go, oh, I think I know you from, like, somewhere or whatever, they're just fishing. They're not actually trying to find the person they saw on the beach or whatever. If you reciprocate any sort of talk, then they'll think, like, oh, this person's interested. And trust me, you are never going to meet someone likable in that way. Let's see what everyone else thinks. I don't know why people are so relentless or how they can think that persisting after the first no will improve their chances. I think some of these people do things like this because it works when they were 16. Yeah. Spicy zombie boomerang day. Oh, I've dealt with my share of zombies. Hey, I have a new story of shitty dates for you. This one actually started off differently and has a different flow than my typical bag of blah. Can I just say, the people who are writing these, you need to start writing books, because I can create a picture in my mind immediately the way they start these things out. Either they're using AI to like help them write these, or they're just very good at writing. Either way, marvellous. It actually started off pretty good, with plenty of lessons learned and no rush to be in anything. Spicy Princess was in a good state of mind to date people, so she held her head up high and wasn't cruising for criminals. She was totally free to be as judgmental as she wanted, because that's literally how dating works. My stalker would know if he actually ever dated anything other than a crusty sock. Oh my god. But since all of his profiles are banned currently, he's got plenty of time to cry about it. They reached out to me on an app, and I thought they were truthful and interesting enough to respond in kind. There were no real red flags, so to speak, and really looking back, they still wouldn't generally have rung any alarms. We chatted for a bit, and since they worked at a place I drove past on my way home, it was easy to set up a first date. We met up at a gastropub. Ooh, fancy. It literally says that in the text. And things went great. We were both interested. The only reason we left when we did was when the power went out. During the week, we talked a lot. When I left work, I would call them briefly to chat. My car was hands-free, so leave me alone. And I would say things that indicated they were very interested and we were a thing. So we set up another date. While it went well, per se, they were a bit colder towards me. I texted them the next day, like usual, and they said they weren't feeling well. So I figured, okay, let me know if you want to chat, but otherwise, get some rest. And I heard nothing. I'm good at giving space, and Spicy is not a needy person, so it was what it was. The next day, I get the text that just felt that. It was too much that I had children from my previous marriage. It would forever bother them knowing I had previous relationships. This wasn't when I was 18 or 20 or 30. I was 40 and divorced. They were divorced. Them saying stuff about how I made their heart skip a beat was either lip service, it 100% was, to sucker punch me in, or they just fall for anyone who shows them attention. Either way, I was confident and happy with myself, so see ya. Exactly 1 week later, Spicy Princess and her children were watching TV, and the phone rings. Since I couldn't be asked to pick it up, I checked the voicemail later, and lo and behold, I get the blah blah blah, I made a mistake, I missed what we had message. Homie, don't play that. Because if it bothers you that I had relationships before you at the age of 40 in a previous marriage that resulted in children, that you're not cool that they exist, then we didn't have anything. Also, nothing's changed. We were never asked to meet them, as that's reserved only for someone who is most likely a more permanent fixture in my life. And it also points to issues of jealousy, so I might have dodged a bullet. You dodged a bazooka. Love hearing from someone that know what they are worth and doesn't tolerate less. Nice job. Yes. We love people who know their worth. But yeah, 100% love bombing. I don't even think that's lip service. Last one. Facebook dating horror story. So I have a friend who is in her late 30s and an elementary school teacher. She had broken up with her boyfriend and went on Facebook dating to get back out there. Facebook dating is literally what's left.
They just need to put all the apps on one app and call it What's Left.
It's just, no. Big mistake. She met this man who owned a bed and breakfast inn in the middle of nowhere in the NC Mountains. I'm guessing NC is like North Carolina or something like that. For reference, me and my friend are both from NC, 4 hours away from the mountains in our state. And he offered her a free weekend stay to get to know one another and even let her bring her dog with her. He did ask to have a credit card put on file, which I thought was weird considering he said it was a free stay.
I don't like where this is going.
Anywho, she got there Friday evening and they had dinner and got to know each other. He was saying she should invite a couple of her friends up there too. Things went south very quickly. That Saturday, he moved on her too aggressively. Yeah, I had a feeling this was, if she doesn't let me have access to her body, then I'm going to charge her credit card for the full stay. Let's see if I'm right. So, that Saturday, he moved on her too aggressively, calling her babe and baby. Mind you, she has known this guy for less than 24 hours. She kept trying to get me to drive up there and hang out with them. I did not think it was a good idea at all. After she refused to consent to some things, if you get my drift, he went ballistic and went on this rampage, destroying one of the rooms, ripping pillows apart and turning furniture over.
Jesus Christ.
He then yelled out, "I am charging $500 damage fee to your card on file." You were the one that did the damaging to your own property. That's fraud. I would literally report the charges to my bank. He abruptly left the room, all because she didn't want to consent to things she was not comfortable with doing. Mind you, it was snowing in the mountains. Pretty hard too, and she was texting me trying to get me to drive up there and rescue her. I was terrified. In the middle of the night that evening, she left, escaping at 1 a.m. with the dog in tow, and when she arrived back home early that Sunday morning, she filed a police report against the man. Thank God, because that's so intimidating. A few months later, he was arrested for an unrelated charge. Let this serve as a lesson not to meet random people from online in the rural mountains at a sketchy hotel. I would say, for safety, please don't meet anyone unless in a private residence, unless you've met them at least twice in public. Only if you feel comfortable. Continue to have public dates until you feel safe enough to invite that person into your home at the end of the day. At least she called the police. Sounds like the fucking Shining online dating edition. Wow. Glad she made it home okay without an axe through the door. Literally, that sounds like he was trying to... Now, obviously, he couldn't count for the snow, but it does sound like he was trying to sort of keep her there to sort of almost manipulate her. Actually, a very cute rom-com called Two Night Stand, where this girl is actually Annalie from America's Next Top Model, who came in third in season 11 or 12. She became an actress, and she is in a film with the guy who was in the new Top Gun. What the fuck is his name? Miles Teller. She has a one-night stand with Miles Teller, and because it is actually super snowing outside, they have to spend another 1 or 2 nights together or whatever, and then the more they've got to know each other, the more they like each other, and then it gives them that kind of like second chance. It's almost like that, but in a fucking super creepy way. The only thing I will say, and I've highlighted this even to my boyfriend, things like, I don't know, Sleepless in Seattle, The Notebook, Twilight, like all the rom-com cliche meet cutes, if you weren't into the person, they could turn fucking into a thriller or a horror movie very fucking quickly. Like, if you're not into the person, if you're not digging it, it turns into stalking, intimidation, manipulation. Like, yeah, it's really creepy in some ways when you really think about it. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give us a like and subscribe. I feel like I really appreciate it. Let me know what you want me to do a topic on next. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Bye!